Back here on News at Prime, and this is what is making news tonight. In the last 5 years, courts around the country have allegedly thrown out cases of gender-based violence and femicide due to missing dockets in the hands of the South African Police Service. Authorities are yet to identify where the problem is in the system. The National Shelter Movement of South Africa is now calling for the tightening of records systems with digital efficiency to combat the seemingly deliberate sabotage of the justice system. To discuss this call, I'm joined now by the founder and director of Thy Rest Limpopo Province Shelter Movement, Nobesuthu Ramukhotheli. Nobesuthu, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time tonight here on News at Prime. I mean, when I looked at those statistics, quite shocking, but even more so is the fact that in Limpopo, there were 18 dockets based on gender-based violence that were lost. 18. If the system cannot contain 18 dockets, imagine if you're having 100 or more dockets, how weak that particular system is. What do you think is at the heart of that?
It is a very shocking revelation, Thabo, that the dockets are missing in the hands of the police. And the SAPS is still yet to find out exactly where the gaps are, because there is a system that was launched in 2008. I think that is to ensure that the dockets are captured electronically. So we basically don't know where the problem might be. But of course, we know there are instances of corruption. I've got 2 cases that I'm aware of, I've been part of as well, in ensuring that one of the dockets was found, and the other docket was still chasing that. It's also going to come out because the perpetrator is trying to bargain with us because it's got the docket. So this is happening, and it's alarming, and it's really a slap in the face to the victims of gender-based violence that are expecting justice to be served. So basically, we don't know where the gap is, and we need to find that gap, and it needs to be tightened.
What support should police be getting here? Because I was speaking to business, for example, moments ago on extortion. They're saying one of the things that needs to happen, at least what they see in their collaboration with private security, is you need to sanitize or purify the value chain, so that the people who are there are people that you know you can trust and that are going to do the right thing. Now, when it comes to dockets, we know that dockets can easily be bought and it goes missing. So what kind of support do police need to get to purify that value chain?
Yeah, I think we are well aware that SAPS is operating on limited resources, and even NPA in terms of detectives. But we are saying that there's a system that was launched in 2008, and they have a target of 80% of ensuring that system is operational. So what we need to see is the better training of the officials that are handling the documents. And again, that all the documents must be properly scanned into the system, right from when the statements are being taken, from when their cases are reported, and ensure that no document is missing in that process of scanning the documents into the system. And also we are saying that SAPS and NPA and the whole justice system needs to work together in collaboration with the civil society. And also we are saying there needs to be trained. All the officials must be trained, and there must be also a security measures that are put in place to ensure that not everyone has access. Only the relevant officials have access to those documents. In terms of setting up passwords and making sure that the officials are trained how to safeguard their gadgets, to ensure that somebody that is not supposed to see or have the document does not have the document. And about nearly 2/3 of the detectives are not trained on the system. So we want to see that system operating. We definitely want to see that system operating. We cannot, in this day and age, handle documents, like physical papers, because we go to courts almost every day. we see that there are a lot of papers that is roaming around in court, and they are in dockets, those brown paper dockets. Sometimes they are not properly secured. So if the system is operational and fully functional, then some of the gaps will be kept.
Now, you also work directly with the victims, and one of the stakeholders asked a rather important question. What are the implications of missing dockets? Yes, we know that we're hearing that a lot of cases are becoming closed, but what does it mean to the victims? How does it impact on the psyche of the victim when they hear that these dockets are going missing and cases are getting closed because of that?
The first thing is that when a victim goes to report a case, that on its own, it's emotional and traumatic. So when you go there expecting justice to be served, the perpetrator to be brought on book. So it's secondary victimization that you expect justice, and in the value chain, you are informed that the docket has been missing. And again, it makes the victims, including us that are supporting the victims, to lose faith in the justice systems, because the perpetrators will definitely go back to the community as free agents and as if nothing that has happened. And again, we are encouraging victims to report cases. So what will be the use of me reporting a case if the document gets missing? So it also it's emotionally draining. As much as we do have psychosocial supports, but it's emotionally draining for the victims. Because we expect, the bottom line is all of us, by reporting a case, we expect the justice to be served. But it's a slap on the face. It's actually a sabotage and an outright betrayal to the victim of gender-based violence. I will make an example.
Yes.
One case. I will make an example of one case that I'm currently handling here in Limpopo, where a victim was gang raped in 2009. And at some point, the DNA kits got missing. Some point, they were found. That case has not been resolved. To our shocking revelation, just last year, we received a call from one of the inmates that was about to go out, bargaining with us to buy the docket back. That person even sent us the docket, even sent us everything. He took his time to take pictures of everything to prove to us that he's got the docket. And if we want the docket, we have to buy it back. And my question is one, how did the inmate got his hands on that docket? It's a case that we are still, because it's very sensitive, we still need to engage, because someone somewhere within the justice system has done something. That docket has been sold to that inmate.
And it's someone somewhere is not just, a figment of imagination. It's a real person. It's somebody who's sitting in an office somewhere. Somebody wearing a uniform somewhere. Do you think there is new impetus in this government of national unity to take consequence management a little bit more seriously, that we are going to begin to see more accountability of that someone somewhere who is involved in this mess?
Yeah, definitely. We want, as organizations, we want, we had in 2022 a second presidential summit, and we have a national strategic plan on gender-based violence that it clearly states what needs to be done and by who. And pillar one of that is accountability from all the departments, as the state department that deals with gender-based violence. So we are hoping that the government of the national unity will probably see change, because now there's somebody else that is watching. It's not only the one ruling party that is leading the country. And again, there's a national council. We are happy that the president, on the 25th of May this year, he passed the National Council on Gender-Based Violence. As much as we're still not happy with the composition of that council, but we are saying speeding up of this council, because this is the body that is going to monitor everything around gender-based violence to ensure that these loopholes are closed. And also there are civil societies that, like in case of like us, we support the victims. We ensure that we go to court and we put pressure on the justice systems. And all those cases that we've supported, we have really seen justice being served, as much as sometimes there are a lot of delays. But I can say that we do see justice being served. So we are hoping for greater accountability. SAPS needs to account. There is no way that a docket can get missing between the reporting and up until the docket is supposed to be served in court. Somebody in a uniform in SAPS is not doing their job properly. And that person needs to be IPID needs to do a thorough investigation behind this, because it's not just paper that is missing. It is someone that has been violated, and that person trusts governments to serve justice.
Nobesuthu, I appreciate your time. Thanks for your intervention tonight. Nobesuthu Ramukhotheli, founder and director of Thy Rest, a shelter movement in the Limpopo province.